Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General YAHANNA is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, sending curses to them enemies.
The greatest crime that's ever been done to black people in modern day history is not the killing of slavery, is not the incarceration in prison, is not the drug addiction. The greatest crime ever done to black people in modern day history was the adaptation of integration. Integration, while praised today as the greatest thing that happened to us, actually became the greatest nightmare for us.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare.
And we got wiped out.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. This is a public service announcement to all the sisters out there. You already know what time it is. Them Passover corsages is blooming absolutely right this year. If you a married sister, rock that red corsage. And for all the single sisters out there, the white corsage was made just for you. Stop playing. You cannot be Passover ready without rocking one of these. Just $10 to complete that fit for the Lord's 54th annual Passover. Pre-order yours now. Click the link below for more info. For just $10, I got a feeling that this is just the right batch of flowers to have you looking on point and official. Sisters, make it your business to get you one, and we hope to see you there. Shalom, Israel.
So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. Taking my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it down, baby. She on the road, can't get around in my coupe, me and you, we just cruising through the town lately. Ask me some questions, girl, do you mind? What would it take to make you mine, please? Tell me be you, and we can try. So I spit choo-choo, I taste the whole thing. Taking my style, I'm far from a lane, girl, just let me put it.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on, man? Priest Captain Dawhar here, standing with Officer Tabawan. We coming from Hollywood, California. Just off the BBC interview, letting everybody know that the I.S.U.P.K is going to take over, man. But check it out, this is what I want you to do, right? Commander General YAHANNA just dropped a new YouTube channel, the most controversial man in America, man. Subscribe to his channel, America on Fire, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Shalom.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and I'm blessed. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I nation to be respected, but in this world we rejected. We hate it for our complex. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon.
Oh yeah, it's going down. Join us for this year's All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K. This year, it's going down in Durham, North Carolina at the Durham Armory. Last year, brothers and sisters came out from all over the world. It was a packed house to celebrate the 2022 Hebrew Academy graduates. These brothers faced life and death, and as a result, they were honored on this night for their sacrifice and their victory at the gauntlet. But wait, this year, it's going down. There will be a Hebrew concert featuring Captain Akkad, 144 the Rebel, King Ty, Captain Ty Ward, One Westworld, Lost Tribes, Captain Katazar, I.S.U.P.K, also known as Dopey, and Officer Natazar, UPK Natazar, and much more. It's going to be an open bar. Make sure that you get your tickets. It's going down this year, 2023, the 54th annual Passover and the annual All Black Party, hosted by Commanding General YAHANNA and the I.S.U.P.K.
Still blessed and still we ride.
I.S.U.P.K presents the 54th annual Feast of Unleavened Bread. Last year we did it big. This year is going to be way big. More brotherhood, more sisterhood, more UPK. On Sunday, April 2nd, 2023. We're going to be at 421 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Sheraton Raleigh Hotel Ballroom. We're calling all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to come join us.
If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood. I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For why take your life or let you take mine? That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey. Hey, hey.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, what's going on, man? Priest Captain Dohar here, standing with Officer Tabawan. We coming from Hollywood, California. Just off the BBC interview, letting everybody know that the I.S.U.P.K is going to take over, man. But check it out, this is what I want you to do, right? Commander YAHANNA just dropped a new YouTube channel. The most controversial man in America, man. Subscribe to his channel, America on Fire, Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. And when I mean Israel, I'm talking about the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. The Lord's 54th annual Passover is going down again this year, sundown, April 1st at 500 South Salisbury Street in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Downtown Conventional Center. It's got enough room for all of us. The Lord's 54th annual Passover. Last year, brothers and sisters showed up from all over the world, rocking ancient garments and glorious apparel in order to serve the Most High in Christ. Now, it's that time again. Commander General YAHANNA is putting out the decree for all brothers and sisters to show up sundown, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us at the Sheraton in Raleigh, the hotel right downtown. It's at 421 South Salisbury. The Passover is right up the block at the convention center, literally within walking distance. Make sure you pull up. Make sure that you do your due diligence because rooms are going fast and they are limited this weekend. You understand? We have months in advance of preparation. Do not wait till the last minute to get your room. The Lord's 54th annual Passover, Saturday, April 1st in Raleigh, North Carolina. Join us there.
It's about time, send the curses to them enemies.
Good. Clap it up. Yabashan Sharakathum. Yahashima Thunba Shimi Awashar. Tonight, scripture breakdown class in DC. Coming to you live. We're rocking it out. You all know, get Passover ready, Passover ready, Passover ready. We have literally 1 month. Whether your month is 28 days, 30 days, whatever. Just know when it turns to April 1st, you better be in Raleigh, North Carolina. You know what I mean? With this South Salisbury Street, 500 South Salisbury Street. Learn that address like your house address. You know what I mean? Because we're gonna be down there rocking it out, holding it down. You know what I mean? Honoring the Most High in Christ and all the prophets that went before us. You know what I mean? We're gonna be doing it big, doing it just how Chief Head Priest Aria said to do it. That's how he taught to do it, and that's how we're going to do it. Because of course, in here we honor fathers. We we're not mama's boys. You get the point? We grow with our fathers. We grow the hard way, the rough way. You understand? And when I say the rough way, I'm talking about the world would describe it as rough. The world would describe it as you're so rough and hard. That's what it means to have a father in the house. You understand? We're gonna do the whole thing, just like how Chief Head Priest Aria said to do it. Commander YAHANNA is following the same traditions, and definitely in honor of a man who laid the foundation that so many people walk today. So the path so many people walk today, so many brothers and sisters walk it unworthily. Your feet ain't really supposed to be on that path just by the words out your mouth. We already know. But we're gonna honor this house. We will honor this house till the very end. You know what I mean? We're gonna honor this house till the very, very end. So tonight we're gonna go into the passport, brothers. All right. I don't think they have no passport brothers in here. It might have some Uber brothers, some Lyft brothers. You know what I mean? Some Amtrak train pass brothers. But passport brothers, I highly doubt it. You're going to understand the psychology behind the passport brothers tonight
And I hope it helps clean your soul up, because the Passport Brothers are absolutely filthy in their minds. The innocent ones and the guilty ones. And I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. All right. In the meantime, please let me know if there's any questions online, brother.
There's nothing online
Yeah.
right now, sir.
Okay. Any in the class? October 26th, Salakia.
Nah,
Any in the class? Anything that we need to go over?
so I just want to hear this breakdown.
Listen, I'm definitely gonna give it to you. And I mean, I went and check out these Passport Brothers, all the way, and it's I say how the diplomats be saying it leaves a lot to be desired. There's a lot to be desired. Go ahead, Shabbat.
Yesterday in class, subject came up. I was talking about the Hebrew individualites and how they don't even gather, as the scriptures say, no nation not desired. But Officer Kazak was like, he remind him to bring up the wilderness, about the wilderness Israelites and the scripture on that. And we didn't get a chance because there was so many questions in it. We kept putting it off. But if we could, it's a scripture about wilderness Israelites.
Okay, you might have to get the whole thing. You could call them now and find out if you need it, need it broken down some more. You know what I mean? You might have to call them now and find out for sure. But what you say, and it's not it ain't jiving with my memory right now. You know what I mean? Bakash, also send that link for so what he requested it. You'll bear with me one, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, so anything else? Any other questions, or we're good to go?
I'm good to go, sir.
Okay. So Passport Brothers, right? What do we know about Passport Brothers? You're good on your World War III breakdowns too? Damn. You're good on your World War III breakdowns? That's in the air right now. Go ahead. Hold on one second. Shalom, sir. YAHANNA.
I.S.U.P.K, if you could, can you sit around Baba Shaw? Khan, you had a question?
Yeah, so I've been seeing this thing about the Passport Brothers on social media, but I had no clue. Like, what is that?
What is the Passport Brothers? Passport Brothers is a group of people, group of men. Maybe I should just let Cap take this, but because I know he's gonna come with some heat. What they want I'll tell you what they want the world to believe. What they want the world to believe is and unfortunately it's a lot of Jakes that's in this so-called Passport Brothers movement, right? So they want the world to believe that Western women, in particular, especially American women, are trash. That's what they want the world to believe. And in order for you to get a good quality woman, you have to go somewhere that's not westernized. You know what I mean? And that's the only way you can find a decent woman. That's what they want the world to believe. You have something, Shabbat?
Stop. Just a question in the chat.
From Ario Weeks?
Come on, sir.
Yeah. Ask the question, Baba Shaw.
Aria Weeks said, I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe Columbus were black?
It doesn't matter what I. Salaki. It was just there. It was a layup. Salaki. Nah, but that he tells you what he is. You know what I'm saying? He tells you what he is. What does it matter? What why do you want to know if I believe if Christopher Columbus is black or not? Type that in the chat. Why is that important to you? If you, I know you're listening. I know you're hanging in on the words. So why is it important for you to know if I believe a colonizer is black or not? I just gave it away, you know, what I believe, but why is it important? That's what I want to know. For what? Why is he asking that question in particular? And while he's getting his answer, because you know, while he's getting his answer, we can go on about the Passport Brothers. So have you heard anything about that? What I just said? What they want the world to believe?
Nah.
So they've been around for quite some time. It's not just like an overnight type movement. They've been around for quite some time. Yeah.
He put, I know he Edomian.
So okay then. With that, I pass the class to Captain Mashak Mayo.
What was the question?
It was brother from the brother asking, do we believe if Columbus is black? Was that the question? Oh, yeah. Do we believe if Columbus was black?
No, Columbus was a devil. Columbus was a devil, and he was Christopher Columbus was a devil. He wasn't even a Spaniard. I think he was Italian, right? His real name is Cristobal Colon. He comes from an Italian family of travelers or some shit like that, merchants or something, where his voyage to the West was not what they teach you in school it was. That's the best way I could put it, right? His voyage to the West was very much to come find the people who built Egypt for the Egyptians and to come find the people who built Rome for the Romans, right? His journey west was to find the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why when he found, you know, Ephraim and his fellows, he went back to Queen, Isabella, to get funding and permission to bring the Armada to the West.
That's like, sir, a distinct proof of that would be he brought a Hebrew, someone who spoke Hebrew with him.
Right. You could find that in the book called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Right? There's a book called Lost Tribes and Promised Lands where that wasn't him. That wasn't him, Shapat. Make sure you get that straight. That wasn't him. That was another explorer called Montesinos. Montesinos, I believe, was a brother. Montesinos was a brother who was he was Italian by birth. Don't quote me on it. I'm gonna have to go back and read the book and get it back to you. But I believe that explorer was a brother. That Montesinos, the one who came and had the Hebrew translator with him, and who heard the people say the creed, and they told him Joseph is on an island nearby. That explorer was not Columbus. That was one called Montesinos. His record is in the book Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. That could be what the brother is confusing Columbus with Bokoash or whoever asked the question. Right? That could be it. Salaki, go ahead.
Salaki, do you know around what chapter that's in?
You have the book? You have it with you? Salaki, let me see. I think it's Montezinos. Right. This is the book here, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. How long you had this book, huh?
About a year.
Okay. How was it hard to get? Was it super expensive? Okay, there was a time this book was very, very, very expensive. Hold on. I believe it's earlier on. Hold on, man. All right, anything else?
So here's another question. It's from Osiris Edward McIsik.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "Shalom, brothers. Are there Israelite brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people?" Or it says our people, but
Okay, read the question one more time.
it says, "Shalom, brothers. Are there Israelites brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people?"
Okay, what does that mean? Maybe he's a heathen. Or she. That might be a she. That might be a passport brother destination that you're talking to right there. That might be somebody who wants one of the passport brothers. Okay, I can't remember which chapter, but I don't think it's that far down into the book. No, boy. I really don't think it's that far down into it. If the person who asked that question, they could just rephrase it for a quick second. Like who is let's say, could Israelite brothers marry who?
Are Israelite brothers that are legally allowed to marry our people? Just the way it's worded.
Now let's let him rephrase it. Just let him rephrase it, all right? Please just let him rephrase it. Hold on. Oh boy, I'm gonna find a fit before the end of class. If not, I'd ask somebody exactly. But I don't think it's this far down. I want to believe it's earlier on in the book. But there's a whole section about this Montezinos. I think he was in prison at first. Bear with me one. I might have to pass on it for now. Hold on. Yeah, I might have to pass on this one for now, just to be able to move on with the crowd. But I'm gonna find it exactly where it's for you, all right?
Come on, sir.
Right, there's also a chapter in here about Bartolomé de las Casas. He has a book himself also, but there's excerpts from the book in here. And this one is good because Bartolomé de las Casas, they was killing this native Indian brother called Hoete or something like that. Hautey. That's his name, I believe. You could Google it. And Bartolomé de las Casas was like a priest or a monk, a Catholic monk, who would go out with the colonizers for the New World. And this particular brother was like a rebel, like Geronimo type. And they tied him to fire, right? They was going to set him on fire. And Bartolomé de las Casas, the the record of it is that he was asked if he would accept Christianity if it meant him coming off the damn pyre, and he could go to heaven. And he told the devil, if there's white people in heaven, I don't want to go there. And they light him up, right? But it's in there. I'm gonna find out what the Montezino section is for you, brother. But I don't think it's that far in, because he tells you, I think that first they hit Florida, then they went to Cuba, and the native people in Cuba saluted him in Hebrew, and they told him Joseph was on an island not far off, right? Joseph meaning Ephraim, right? Because Puerto Rico ain't too far from Cuba, right? But exactly where it's escaping me now. But it's definitely not Columbus. This was Montezino's. Boy, I definitely want to find it for you. All right. Bear with me. I'm going to find it for you. You want to hold it? I'm going to find it for you before the class is out. All right. Because did the brother come back with anything?
Yes. Salakia, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you see me in and out the stream, I just gain a little problem now. Sometimes I cut off and I come off in between now.
You say it cutting out on you?
Can.
Okay, no sweat. Just let me know if you had any questions or anything, all right?
Oh, can, sir. Can.
Okay. All right. All right, so anything else, Bakwash? Are we good? Sir. Okay, let me know if he comes back with anything, all right? Okay, so Passport Brothers, right? What we know about the Passport Brothers? What is their what is their MO? What are they about? What do they say? Come on, no shame in the game, Bakwash. Shame in the game. Nobody wanted to go first. Bakwash is like, listen, man. Go ahead.
From what I understand, they do not like westernized women, and they would rather go to someplace else that where women are not westernized. So
do they go to Syria? Do they go to Aleppo?
No.
In the east? Do they go to Eritrea? Do they go to Chad in the east? Okay, so where do they go?
They go to Thailand. They go to Colombia, Dominican Republic, Panama.
You put Thailand in there because I think you're a sympathizer. I think you're a Passport Brother sympathizer. Because I looked, and I ain't seen one video of them niggas on the streets of Thailand showing no Thailand ass. Excuse my language. I seen them on the streets in DR with their phone, like, oh, look at that there, look at that there. I ain't seen one thigh behind yet. So I think you might be a sympathizer. Like, I think you might be a Jewish sympathizer. You get the point? Go ahead. I'm listening.
They go to places where their money is longer and they can command more
and strong. What's this?
Let me drop.
Still coming to bribe somebody here now. I'm gonna see what these things do. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a couple. So Lakia, if the Lord make more than 2 roll out, then I'm blessed. So what? Yeah, go ahead.
Damn, yeah, they go to places like that so that they can get over on anybody that they want to.
Okay. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, I'll take that. That's pretty much them. That's pretty much them on what they want to do, how they want to do their things. All right. Passport Brothers, it's Israelites. Israelite men, usually ex-military, right? Usually brothers who is in the ex-military or ex-football players, sports players. They have a little bit of money. It's not a lot, but they probably middle class here. Middle class here, in certain countries is very, very wealthy. They have a ton of power, right? So the mantra for the passport brothers is that not westernized women. That part is bullshit too. It's women in America. It's black women in America that these Negroes can't stand. And they definitely have not had or been introduced to every black woman, but the experience they've had is like, I'm gonna go and buy a wife, which is really what you're doing as a passport brother. You're not falling in love, you're lying. You're going to a point where it's the antithesis of what happens here, where a woman has more power than a man here. You get the point? A woman in the world, she'll have more power than a brother. He can't handle it, so he goes in a position where he has power over her, carnal power. You get the point? The power that she has over him here is carnal power, right? That's really all it is. It's a carnal type of power. It's not like she tells him to do something and he does it. She forces him to do everything, and he's tired of it, so he goes to a position where he has carnal power over everybody else, right? Pull up some videos of them. Okay, there's that particular one I'm talking about with the brother online talking about these exotic women. Bear with me one. The host of the show I'm talking about is a brother with dreads, and he had the front of his head shaved, looking like a real little woman. All right, whichever was the first one Pagaiba was sent you. Let's go with that.
Success story. Look what I pulled.
This is the one with the devil.
Country. Right? It's great. She doesn't even speak English, so I don't have to listen to her. Passport bros. You guys want to hear a success story?
I would never ever choose a hand. I would never.
Passport bros. You guys want to hear a success story? Look what I pulled from the old country. Right? It's great. She doesn't even speak English, so I don't have to listen to her.
What's the old country?
I'm not sure. I think his tag is Brazil Yeesh, but
right. So he goes to Brazil. This is a white man.
Sorry.
This is the so-called oppressor. He goes to Brazil. He doesn't go to Essex, England, or Stockholm, Sweden. He doesn't go there because they're not Western. They're in the East, right? He wants somebody who's more old school, old fashioned. He ain't go somewhere in Bavaria, in Germany, to get some woman, but he goes once again where he could be carnally in power, which is not any type of power at all, right? And that's what he wants. And he said it right. He said the best thing about her is she what? She doesn't speak English, right? But he will marry her and take her home, which I assume he did, right? He married her and took her home because really this is more so a long-term prostitutional arrangement. You get the point? Now, this is a disclaimer. Maybe some passport brother did find a woman who he genuinely loves and whatever. And I'm not calling that woman a prostitute. But by and large, the passport brothers movement, that passport brothers whole movement and push, and we all making videos and talking about come out here. And they love you out here, and you could do this out here. It's really because you're too weak. You're too weak enough to have any real spiritual power over anything, much less a woman. And you don't want to. You want the easy, low-hanging fruit, right? And this is not a disrespect to any of the sisters in Brazil or Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic, but the fact is, these brothers don't go to those countries and try to marry a lawyer from DR. You understand? If we're talking passport brothers, why they ain't marrying, a surgeon? Why they ain't going there and marrying an engineer? Why is their wife on the beach all day, every day? Because this is not about going to find a wife. This is about another thing that Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men have been reduced to due to oppression, which is, you know, a circus animal, right? A circus animal doesn't hunt food. A circus animal doesn't stalk food and jumps down and kills it. A circus animal gets fed. It's easy. It's just this just comes into the cage. It's there. I eat it. That's your passport, brother.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to do anything extra. I don't need to change anything about myself. I don't need to demand change with anything. I could just come here and, even under the pretense of just being an American, in the woman's mind, it's, you know, like you win the lotto. You get the point? In her mind, that's how it is. When you may not even be in that position really, but you come in with that certain amount of status for it, because that's the only way you could get a woman. You understand? That's the only way you could get abroad. You can't get abroad the old-fashioned way and can't get her to obey what the hell you say. So much so you just give up the ghost and you go and you create this thing called Passport Brothers. And the thing is absolutely weak. Is there more on it?
That was it, but there's others.
Come on, give me a couple more. Nobody found the one on Facebook I'm talking about, right?
Lot, sir.
Oh boy. Hold on. Let me see if I can get it. Just now, let me send this thing here. Yeah, go ahead.
Is there any direct precepts like to move, you know, against this part?
Mm-hmm.
This particular topic, right?
Yeah, we're gonna get to it. You in a rush? You in a hurry?
Nah, not at all.
You sure? Okay, no sweat. We gonna get to it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Passport bro discourse on my feed. But I feel like Japan really nailed it when it comes to talking about those kind of guys, because they just call them LBH, loser back home. I keep saying passport bro discourse on my feed. But I feel like Japan really nailed it when it comes to talking about those kind of guys, because they just call them LBH.
LBH means
loser back home.
Who?
It says the Japanese calls them LBHs, the Passport Brothers, and LBH stands for losers back home.
You want the precept? Ni hao.
Yeah.
That's what you want to do, right? You want the precept? Precept here now.
Yeah.
Any more?
Concert.
Okay, that the one I want is on Facebook. That's the one I want and I can't find it. It's okay. Is this little podcast with this brother, real feminine looking fool. You have dreads, like slightly light skin, not all the way. The front of the dreads is shaved. He has a guest on there, and this guy he has on shades, and he talking about he been to Cyprus and Syria and Greece and Spain, and you see the most exotic women. He say exotic, they're so exotic, and these women you pay them to leave, you don't pay them to stay, and you can't find women like that in America. I need that one out because okay, you see you'll see exactly the spirit of weakness that I'm talking about. That's on this brother. All right. Okay. So now, okay, first off the break. So now let's get Tobit 4, right? Now somebody might say what they're doing is not, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing because of course they're going down to get sisters, right? They're going down to get Brazilians and Dominican Republicans and stuff like that. In those brothers' minds, are those women sisters? No, they're not. In those brothers' minds, if those women were sisters in those brothers' minds, would they go get them? Break it down.
Sloppy, you mean sisters like
Like, okay, I'm saying they go into these countries and, you know, saying how these women are so much better than the woman in America. When Eve is Eve, if anybody knows, she cussing you out in Portuguese just like she is in Spanish, just like she is in English. It just sounds better to you in Portuguese because of all that nasty porn you was watching at 17. That's why it sounds, because I told you, they ain't going to Thailand, Doc. I ain't seen nobody in Singapore. I ain't seen nobody over there showing all these Singaporean women. I ain't seen nobody give me one of them more retarded. Taiwan. Is they going down to Taiwan and marrying them women? Where's all the Passport Brothers videos? DR, Puerto Rico, Brazil, any island around. You get the point? They go into that place because this is a sexual fetish that they're really trying to feed. This has nothing to do with the love. And the reason they can't get a woman here is because of the same thing. It's a weak sexual fetish that you really just attracted to whores. That's it. Or or a woman that you can turn into a whore. You understand? Because if this was about finding a woman who is of better quality and they treat you better, how come you cannot go to Brazil and marry the Brazilian Minister of Finance? How come you can't go to Brazil and get a lawyer or a doctor? Why is it you go to Brazil and get the sister who is struggling, poor, just like the sisters right here?
Right.
That's it. How come you can't do that? Go ahead.
It's two questions. One is related right on this topic, and there's another one. Topic. The one that's on topic from Weezy B says, "What if a guy just loves Caribbean women and loves to travel? Also, the man is single. What about them?"
Okay, now a man who likes to travel is different from a man who goes to get a passport to go to, Rio de Janeiro. That's different. A man who likes to travel could go to Detroit, could go to Chicago, could go, where be having a ton of Benjamin women? Florida. Could go to Florida. Hi, everybody. If you like to travel, you like Caribbean women, you like Haitian women, you like West Indian women, you like Cuban women, they're all the way down there. You like to travel, right? So why is it you have to go to that particular country and prey on the poorest demographic, the most desperate demographic? It's because you're weak. Yeah. You're weak and you're just like that white man in the beginning. Yeah. And really, okay, he don't want her talking at all. You just don't want her talking English because as long as she's disrespecting you and you can't understand it, you fine with that shit. You totally fine with that. Go ahead, guy boy.
Yeah, Salam, sir. What you just said was heavy because that took me back to the beginning of Cross the Line when Captain Tazariak was explaining, why he stepped up. When he was telling Polite, he was like, "You're a coward because you're only going to fight the battle that you think that you could win."
Mm-hmm.
So those brothers, those men, they're going to these sisters that are impoverished, probably don't have a lot of education sometimes in some of these dilapidated countries.
Mm-hmm.
They know that they have an advantage over them. And that's what they use their status, their American status, to hold over top of these sisters. And basically it's like a hostage situation because they're thinking that they're benefiting by getting with an American man that might have a little bit of money, but it's just like it's prostitutional slavery.
It's prostitution. It's prostitution without you going to the back alley or you go into some website and paying. You're tricking yourself to thinking it's not prostitution. That's really what it is. You get the point? That's really what it is. You had it, Anna?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Salaki, has it came out that they're abusing these women?
Okay, no, none of that has come out because, of course, okay, it's like let's say you go spring break or something. You go to one of those, events like that, some kind of college thing. You're down there for 4 or 5 days. Nothing can really get you angry enough to do something like that. You get the point? you only go that far when you had to live with this bro, or you had to live with this brother for 2 years, and you know, y'all smell each other farts. This person ain't, you know, cleaning the toilets. This person leaving the drawers around. That is what's going to bring the chaos and the conflict and the fighting. But when you're just down there, really, you're free from responsibility. Once you're free from responsibility, there's nothing that could get you angry. You could have, you know, let her know you're going to bring her back to the States for whenever, and she goes with another brother. Are you angry? Because there's like 2,500 more on the beach. And you just go for it. Passport brothers, the movement of it is very weak. It's not the same as a brother who travels a lot and gets a wife. That's different. But when you go apply for the passport because Keisha don't want you, you know, what's the difference between you and Tiger Woods? These ballers who get these white women, they don't get a doctor or a lawyer. They go get some waitress like Tiger Woods or that RG3. Remember that old frog face one from who played for the Redskins? You see the broad he divorced? First he had one white broad who he had a kid with, divorced her for some ugly ass broad, and then end up with this skiing broad who, no, she don't even ski. She do some other thing, some other sport, and she don't even do this shit no more. You get the point? They don't really get something of quality. But the thing is, black women too hard to deal with, so you go get a white woman. It's the same thing with the passport brothers. It's the same. It comes from the same place of it's really weakness. That's really what it is. Go ahead, Al.
It's like you say about it. I used to think the same thing about RG3. You know, when he hiked the ball, he would lick his tongue out like a lizard.
Okay. I only know him from the white woman because I discovered him when I think the first broad he divorced made a big stink about it, and he went to get another white woman, and I was like, this fool, he don't learn. And I think soon after he blew his knee out or some shit like that. So I don't really know how he played, but you know, the football enthusiasts, y'all could help educate me on that one. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing like that. Salakia, bear with me one. Okay, give me my scripture in Tobit, please. Give me choose, you know, to refrain from whoredoms. Tobit 4 and 12. Give me that. Let's start with that one.
Tobit chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Say it again.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Go ahead.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Right. So now I on purposely pulled the scripture because why? You have brothers and sisters who say shalom, wear fringes, but don't agree with what Chief Head Priest Arya said. You understand? And they call themselves Israelites. And they would say that what's wrong with it? You could have concubines. They are women of the other nation. They are women of our nation anyway. So the passport brothers are not doing anything wrong. And that's what they would tout and they would push and they would break down. So now read it again. Read it one more time.
Verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Say it again.
Beware of all whoredom, my son.
Beware of all whoredom, my son. Go on.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers.
And chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Now, these sisters in DR and Brazil and Cuba and wherever you're going, they are of the seed of your fathers. But is that brother who's going to get the passport? When he goes to get the passport, is he looking at her like a sister? He's not. He's looking at her the same way he looks at the Filipino, the same way he looked at the Chinese woman. You get the point? As if she is so much better because of XYZ. When this is a sister like every other sister, you're just taking advantage of her just like your oppressor would. The same spirit on the oppressor, which is after you done colonize a certain area and you oppress that area down, you go down there and now you start to make whores of the women of that land. That's the oppressor 101. That whole Pocahontas story is exactly that. They try to act like if sister fell in love with John Smith The real history is he took her at 14, took her back to England, and was raping her forever. Right? That's the real history behind that. The Passport Brothers it's in the same vein. However, you ain't no colonizer, and that is your sister that you're actually preying on. And the only thing that gives her value to you is the fact that she has no value to nobody else. That's the only thing that makes her valuable to you, to make you go get a passport and go down there and, you know, hang out and trick. You're really just tricking, and you're playing on the needs and wants and the oppression. Like, really, you got to thank the white man for your Passport Brothers, for your options, because if he didn't destroy your people, where would you go to find a woman? Where would you go? Come on. You should have gone to your own. But once again, they're not looking at our own like it's valuable. They don't understand that any woman has issues. Every woman has issues. But in their minds, these women here is willing to swallow their problems to be able for what the possibility that you might be able to offer. It's very weak. It's very, very weak. You shouldn't aspire to it. You can't, if you can't get a woman down the block, try the next city over. Just go visit your cousin sometime. Try the next city over, or come to the UPK. They will be wearing white corsages come April 1st. You know what I mean? Give that a hand. That's a tradition. Some of y'all might need a passport for that. But this is the thing. You're still going to have to go talk to her. You're still going to have to go step to her. And she's going to be enveloped by the other sisters. They're going to be all around her. And you're going to have to walk up there and pull her out of the group in front of everybody. You'd rather just fly to Brazil on your own and go on the beach and, flash some Benjamins, right? Nah, man. We do things the old-fashioned way, brother. We do things the hard, old-fashioned way. Passport Brothers are very easy and very weak. Let's keep reading that script. Read it one more time, please.
Come. Tobit, chapter 4, verse 12. Beware of all whoredom, my son, and chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy father.
Right? Chiefly take a wife of the seed of thy fathers. Right? Like, you had to be in that spirit if it is you're going to be able to choose and find a sister, right, as a brother. You're going to have to be in that spirit, because now, if it is we're going to have the Passport Brothers, are you going to now have the Passport Sisters going for the original man in Nigeria? Right? That's going to be the case now? Is you going to have the Passport Sisters flying all over the place because why? You can't get along? The whole thing is just weak and chasing after whoredom. It's nothing substantial. It's nothing that is going to last any length of time. It's nothing that could stand up to any type of test, to any type of adversity. It's just weak. It's absolutely weak. Any brother entertaining it, I'm telling you straight up and down, I don't care what your reason is, you're entertaining it because you're giving into your weakness. You're giving into that part of you that don't want to get strong. And getting strong hurts, right? You go to the gym, right? It hurts, right? It also hurts to be weak too. It hurts very much to be weak. And you'll find out when you're faced with adversity. When there's no adversity, being weak is comfortable. But the minute you're faced with adversity, brother, you're about to get an ass whooping. Physically or spiritually. But if you standing strong every day, you're getting strong every day, you're working at it, it's going to hurt. But when that adversity comes, is it any big deal? Because you're always going through the adversity. You're always getting strong. You're always disciplined. You're always pushing back. You're always masculine. It takes it takes work to maintain your masculinity, to be masculine and to maintain it. It takes that type of work. Being absolutely a passive man, which is a passport brother, it takes zero effort, brother. Easy it is to get a passport. As long as you ain't got no felonies, you got how much a passport? About $600? How much is it? Well, maybe the expedited is 600. So you could get the expedited one because it take how much months to get it back? It's supposed to be 6 weeks. 6 weeks. I think you could expedite that shit. I think there's an expedited. Somebody look it up.
There is
How much is the expedited one? Somebody look it up, please. Yeah, passport ain't hard to get. You ain't got no felony. You pay some money, you get a passport. Now you're off. But you're going because you're weak. Come on.
It's like I used to slave overseas for a number of years, and the horror stories that I've heard about some of these quote unquote passport brothers that thought they was getting over on these women, they got over on them. It's kind of not kind of. It's worse than what a sister would do here in the States. Like for all that trouble, you could have just stayed home and did that, and got less ran over.
Yeah, brother. Okay, this is what it is. Again, the level of the whoring, is something different, difficult. Okay, it's a fetish. It's a disgusting type of fetish. Like, okay, the Lord gives you everything, certain things that's lawful, right? It's lawful to have a drink. It's lawful to eat. It's lawful to have sex. It's lawful to, most other things. When you're weak, you don't enjoy the lawful amount. You only do it in the excess. You can only enjoy the excess of it. You can have a drink, but a couple of drinks ain't good enough for you. You have to wake up with a dog licking your face, not knowing where you are. That to you is a good goddamn time. Woo! I had a good time. Well, what you do, man? Well, tell me what you did. Man, if I tell you, truth is you can't remember. You could go have sex. You only want the sex that's the nasty secret type, in a room with 15 people type thing. But you could go have a woman. But just that one woman at a time I'm talking about. Don't try to make it seem like I'm talking about one wife. I'm talking about you and this woman. That's your rib. You and her going to getting ready to have sex or having sex. That doesn't appeal to somebody who is weak. What appeals to somebody who is weak is the excess.